Hi, I'm Nigel Howarth and welcome to another Shed Sessions Christmas. And we're going to do a lockdown turkey for you, just in case. So here in front of me have I got a herb-fed turkey from Ed Wilkinson, who farms his turkeys just outside York. I've used Ed an awful long time for turkeys. Ed's provided me with a 1.8 kilo breast, and the leg is, you can see the leg is part of it underneath. So as you carve through, you've got a piece of the breast and a piece of the leg, and it's perfect if we're all, if there's only going to be 6 of us. So let's have a look what else. So we're going to do that. So it's turkey, so a herb-fed turkey on sage boulanger potatoes, which we're going to make here. Cranberry sauce. We've got a nice, beautiful gravy for you. And then we've got sprouts, chestnuts and chilies. Yeah, that's brought a smile to your face, hasn't it? I'm so looking forward to that. And then carrots and swede. And because just carrots and swede just seem to sweep it all up together and you know, make it work. So the first thing to do is basically make the boulanger potatoes, because we're going to cook the turkey above the boulanger potatoes. So in that sort of classic way that the French would roast a leg of lamb over boulanger so that your flavours all go in, we're going to do that exactly the same. So in front of me here, I've got 400 ml of chicken stock, and I'm going to drop about 15 grams, if I can get the butter out there, 15 grams of butter in there, and a wee touch of salt. Okay, and I've got my sage here, I've got my onions, and I've got my potatoes. So let's slice up the onions. I've got a pan on there already for the onions, and we've got about 350 grams, 400 grams of onions, and roughly a kilo of potatoes. And we're talking enough for six to 8 people. If you're big eaters, if you're really big eaters, you might need a bit more, but I think we'll be okay with that. Okay. Right. Let's have a look now. And butter in our pan. Onions in. And we need to get some salt and pepper in there. Okay, and I'll just pop the lid on there and let that just gently break down and sweat away. I've got a mandolin here, and I'm looking at about 3 mil thick for the potatoes. Let's have a look at that. Yep. We're not a million miles away. And okay, and put the mandolin away, and now get some of our potato into the chicken stock. And We need that to be bubbling up viciously. But of course, as soon as you put the potatoes in, it drops the temperature down. So do be a little bit patient here now. And while that's coming up to the boil, we've got our beautiful Christmassy dish. What do you think, guys? What do you think?
Oh, that's good.
Very nice. And I'm going to brush that now with a little bit of butter, and then just add a pinch of seasoning, and just give that. All I'm wanting to do is just cook the potato enough to make sure that it's not going to turn brown, because then I can actually do it the day before. A lot of what I'm doing now, first, you would do in reverse. So the cranberry sauce, preparing the Brussels sprouts, and making the gravy, I'm going to do secondary. But you could do that the day before and then just do your potatoes on the day. Or alternatively, as I'm saying now, you could do your potatoes the day before as well. Okay, so once they're up to the boil, give them a few minutes, like so, and then out they come, those little devils. So it's it's a minute or two, and then put the last of them in. Okay, there. And boil those away. And I'm hoping now that on this side, if you get any water on induction, it just decides not to work. Okay, so my onions are starting to break down. I need them to get a move on. Got a bit of a shifty on there. So I'll put the lid back on and go back to the boulanger here. And then while they're just giving that last little kick of cooking, all I'm going to do here is leave a couple of leaves and just cut through the sage. Nothing more complicated than that. And just again, I've just got a potato there that's a bit of black in it, so we'll get rid of those. I can see now that my onions are steaming away. Okay, so those potatoes now are good to go. Oh, there's some good smells coming. There's nothing like cooking down onions. Reminds me of hot pot. Okay, so we'll just turn that down there now, and then we can start now. Put our boulanger potato together, and need about a third on the bottom, like so, and then sprinkle with the sage. And then basically layer of onions. Don't forget to season there in between as well, which I nearly did. So just a little bit of seasoning there. And a little bit of black pepper. Like so. And you don't have to worry about it all going brown, which is one of the key things now, because you've in essence blanched your potatoes, so you've stopped them discolouring. And okay, we can now just carefully pour over the remaining stock and that last little potato that was just harbouring in there. Okay, and the potatoes now are ready to go in. Okay, so let's have a look in our oven. So the potatoes go in like so, and our turkey goes on the top there, like so. Okay, it's 160 and 2 hours, or you want a core temperature of about 70 degrees, 68 to 70 degrees. So while our turkey and sage boulanger are cooking away merrily, we're going to make the cranberry sauce and then the gravy, which is a masala wine gravy. Nice, it's really nice. One of the reasons that I do still make my own cranberry sauce is it just tastes so much better. Don't ask me why, because it's a very, very simple process. But and it's same with your gravy. It's worth doing that. Remember what I said earlier, that you can do these the day before or 2 days before or a week before if you so choose. So I'm doing it in reverse, but for your benefit, you can do these things before. And if you look online, it will tell you that in the recipe. So, okay, let's have a look now. So cranberries, we're going to pop those in the pan there. And then I've got a couple of oranges here. I want roughly 200 ml of liquid. Okay, so better be quick because I can hear my cranberries already making noises. And it's worth also using, you know, good fresh orange juice. That goes in there. So it's 300 grams of cranberries, 200 ml of orange juice. That was a juicy one. And then 100 grams of sugar. What could be simpler? And you basically just let that cook away until it reduces into, you know, that sauce, like that sort of, we all know what cranberry sauce is like, so that cranberry sauce like texture. There we go. Sugar, in they go. And I'll just give it a little stir, keep our eye on it, and it takes about 20 minutes to half an hour, depending on how ferocious you are on the stove. Right. So while that's cooking away, we're going to have a little wiperoonies down here, and I've saved a bit of my trimmings here from the sage, and we can just cut an onion . Like so. So it's half a large onion. I'll turn that up now, number 7. And we're going to put a small knob of butter in there. And then we're going to put a little bit of sage. We're going to caramelize that and then reduce that down. And here, which again needs to warm up a little bit more, is my turkey stock. So as I got a breast of turkey from Ed Wilkinson at Herb Fed Turkeys, of course you don't get all the bones, etc. But you don't get all the bones when you roast the whole turkey off, because you've got to roast it on the bone. But you get the giblets. So what I made is a chicken stock with the giblets in, took it off and reduced it by half. And then basically we're going to reduce it by half again. But we need to caramelize our onions. And that will take 3 or 4 minutes. So when you come back, they'll be all nice and golden. Welcome back. You can see now that our onions and our sage trimmings are nice and golden. And I've just moved the I've just moved the cranberry across so you can see that better on camera. And the cranberry sauce is boiling wildly away now, so hopefully that will just settle down nicely now. Yeah, and I'll just leave that adjust. And those, you know, the sage and onion and the cranberry and the you get some great flavours. So what we need to do now, I've got a little bit of apple vinegar, and I'm just going to pop that in there. So we're staying with fruitiness. So like you've got masala that reminds me of sweet, like sultanas, raisins, that sort of thing. And then we're going to take that right down. So I'm going to give that a full blast now. You can see now that our sauce is reduced by half. So I've got a pan here, a smaller pan, just to pop the sauce through a sieve. And just press the last little bit through. And then pop that over the back. And then bring that pan through. And we just need to thicken it up now. So I've got a little bit of potato starch here, mixed with a little bit of our wine. There's about 25-30 grams in this little bowl. So I'm going to check the seasoning and then just lightly thicken it. You can use cornstarch, you can use flour and butter if you want. It's got a great flavour. That going well with the turkey and the smoked bacon, and then the chili Brussels sprouts. Cranberry sauce. It's making me feel hungry. Oh gosh. Right, so that's coming up to the boil, or up to the boil. So we'll just bob a little bit in now. I think, yeah, that will do perfectly. So I can turn that off now. Pop a lid on it. I've checked it for seasoning. It perhaps could do with a tiny bit of salt, but we can do that later on. So I can just pop that there and just keep that to the side. Now let's have a look at the cranberry, because that should be, yeah, the same with the cranberry. I think I'm happy with that now. That's just going to beautifully cook through. Let's just have a little taste. That's lovely, lovely and balanced. Just the right amount of acidity there. Okay, so that's our sauces ready. So again, remember, you could be cooking those the day before. So it takes all the strain out of, so all you have to do on the day is just do this, which makes it pretty cool for drinking your champagne. We've now got our carrots and swede. Swede is such a, you know, in a way, not a trendy veg, but it's so good. I mean, it's just so good. On its own, steamed, it's amazing with fish. So we're going to cut this up and do, you know, what is in essence an old-fashioned family recipe. So let's see how we go. So we'll pop that. Equal quantities here. I've done about 300 grams of each. And then pop the carrot. Likewise. In there. And I'm going to finish this off with quite a lot. When we've cooked the carrots and swede, I'm going to put quite a bit of white pepper in there. Okay, so a little knob of butter, pinch of salt, bit more than a pinch, so a small spoonful, teaspoon. And then let's get some water in there. Okay, and bring that up to the boil, the lid on. And then here I've got some very small Brussels sprouts, some lovely little Brussels. So I've got my water coming up to the boil there. I can just show you how we prepare the Brussels. Just like so. Just cut the outer leaf off and then make a cross. And I'm sure most of you that will have been in a kitchen will have seen that, I'm sure. Very good to go now. So we're going to pop them in our pan. Plenty of water. Put a little bit of salt in there. And when you cook, as a rule, when you're cooking green vegetables, don't put a lid on. It's not going to do any huge harm, but you know, in general. And here, while we're just having a look, I've got some Scotch bonnet chilies. I've got fresh chestnuts at the ready, 100 grams. And then here, we've got our pigs in blankets. And these are stocky pigs, I might just say. So I've got a bit of streaky bacon. We're just going to wrap up those like so. And like so. And we're going to serve, what do you think, 1 or 2 with the turkey? I like 2 because I love these. This is just so good. So we're going to cook those off a little bit later. So there's our pigs in blanket. So the Brussels sprouts are now ready. They've boiled quite fiercely for 4 or 5 minutes. So they're lovely and ready. Okay, so I put them into ice water to stop the cooking, obviously, and to keep that colour. That colour is so important. I hate faded Brussels sprouts. It's just one of my pet hates. Okay, so we'll keep them there. As I said, you could use those, or you could cook those the day before if you so choose. Right, and our carrots and swede are ready. So I'm just going to pour off the excess liquid there. And then just need a knob of butter. Good old knob of butter. In you go. And then we're going to put some white pepper. And I want it quite peppery, as you can see. And a little bit of, just a touch of salt there. Okay. And then we need to give that a good old mashing. I know this might remind you of what you had at school, but gosh, it is not good. It's so good. Okay. So we've got our chilies, and we're going to use a little bit of smoked butter here. Ta-da, ta-da. Okay, and let's get those Brussels in there. And we're going to put half a chili in. And the chestnuts. And these you can get ready, and then just at the last minute put them all together. And I've got a little bit of soy. I just want to season this with a little bit of natural seasoning, so a little bit of salt and black pepper, and then a little bit of soy just to finish off. Okay. Right, we can now get our turkey out. Our boulanger potatoes are ready. Boulanger. And our turkey now. We can manage to get that out. There we go. And pop that onto there. Our Brussels sprouts. Another good way to obviously do this, if you want to do, is just get your chestnuts and chili sweated off, and then get them ready, and then just finish them and pop them through the microwave as you go. If you've got too many things going on, okay, and we're just going to a little bit of soy going in there. We've got our bowls here. So, oh, it smells so good. Woo! Get rid of that pan there. And then I'm just going to go. Carrots and swede. Pop the cranberry in like so. We can put a little bit of just spoonful. Put that in there. Okay, so what I want to do is just put a little bit of our potato. Potato there. Both, and these look absolutely delicious. Wow. And then we've got to lift the bacon off. We're going to serve that bacon with it. We don't want to lose that flavour. There we go. Just get that last bit off. Okay, and you can now just get a piece of the bacon. And just use a piece of that bacon to, I'm going to use that to garnish up there, so we really don't want to lose that. And then our turkey there, which looks beautiful and moist. And we're not just getting as much as the brown meat, because that on this particular piece there's a bit more on the end, so we'll cut a little piece on the end there. So we'll just pop that there, just pop that there, and come on to this far end and just get a little bit of that brown meat. And then to just sauce over it. And that's in true family services. You would serve Christmas Day. Okay. And there you go. There's our lockdown turkey with cranberry sauce, roast gravy, and we've got some chili Brussels sprouts and chestnuts. And whatever you do, don't forget your pigs in blankets. There they go. Have a go at that. There you go. Enjoy. Have a great Christmas and a great New Year. Thank you from me. Bye. Hi, I'm Nigel Howarth. If you like what you've just seen, then subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on social media. Enjoy.